Hey, good day, friends. It's Lance Klessig. I'm here today with Ben Daley. We're just outside of Lewiston on one of our stops for a spring cover crop tour that we put together for the spring of 21. So Ben, I guess before we start, tell us a little bit about what you have going on here, what kind of farm you have.
Well, we're dairy farmers, and we grow all of our own forages, and we milk about 1,500 cows, close to that, and yeah, we're out in one of our fields.
Awesome. And so you guys have been using cover crops for what, like 15, 20 years, something like that?
Yep, I've personally been responsible for the cover crops on our farm for the last 25 years, and my dad and my uncle were doing cover crops before that. Awesome.
And so I know you talked about raising all your own feed. So how many acres of cover crop do you guys have roughly this year, spring of 21?
This year we got 900 acres of cover crop.
900. Yep. Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about, we're in a field that was corn silage last year. Walk us through the history here and what's going to happen, the next few weeks.
Yep. So the field that we're in now, last year we chopped for corn silage, and after we got done chopping the corn silage, we called up ag partners, and they air flowed on 75 pounds of rye. And then right after they got done doing that, we came over the top of it with manure worked in, and this is kind of the result of how well it worked.
Awesome. So you're injecting manure, kind of using that as incorporating to get the seed going. Sweet. And it does really look, it's pretty vibrant out here. Yes. There's no doubt about that.
Yep.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about a couple of your main objectives. Why are you using cover crops?
Well, way back earlier, before we had even the dairy, we used this dairy here. We used cover crops just to kind of hold the ground.
Sure.
And that's what my dad and uncle did in years past. But now, since we've learned, over the years what cover crops can do, our main objective is to keep that manure that we inject in the fall and that nitrogen up closer to the root zone.
Sure. And we did pluck a few roots here. It's probably hard to see, but these roots are really powerful. I mean, they're doing a lot of things, even above and beyond, I think, holding those nutrients in the profile. They're also going to make some awesome planting conditions, once it gets terminated and things like that. So there's a lot of power in the roots. We tend to look at the above ground, but so much of cover crops are below ground, so great. So getting back to this field, so you're going to terminate this and then probably plant it in the next couple weeks. Is that right? And what are you going to plant to?
Yep. So this field here will terminate, and then we will put corn back in here in this field, on this particular field.
Sweet. Okay. And then one other thing I brought up before we started the video is you guys don't use any starter fertilizer.
Nope.
So your manure acts as your fertility program.
Yep.
Are you having to side dress or anything like that, or is that?
Nope. All of our ground that we have around here that gets the dairy manure, we primarily it's just the dairy manure that we use for all of our fertility. And right now we're ranging between 12,000 and 15,000 gallons to the acre. Sure. And between that application and the second year manure credit that we get, we got enough fertility for corn.
Great. Okay, and then lastly, I always like to ask, what's one piece of advice that you might offer somebody that's maybe never done cover crops, or maybe it's their first time trying it? What's one piece of advice?
Stay flexible, I think. Last year, this type of field, we were able to just go across with our finishing tool and plant into it. This year, it looks like we'll probably have to spray Roundup and terminate it that way.
Yep.
Because it's going to get away on us, and we're a couple of weeks away at least from getting the planter out.
Right.
Stay flexible. The year that you do it, it might be different than the following year, and it might be different than that the year after that too. Right. So just stay flexible.
Sure. But I think one thing I'm hearing you say is try it.
Oh yeah.
Give it a whirl on a few acres just to get your feet wet, that type of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. So again, just to kind of recap, we're out here with the Daleys, and this is one of our cover crop stops for our spring cover crop tour. I just want to say, hey, thanks, Ben, for making the time, opening up your field and your farm for people to come out and dig, look at the roots, look at the crops, that type of thing. So
absolutely.
Yeah, great. Well, thanks for joining us, everyone, and we'll catch you on the next video.